Hello again, this is Robert St-Jacques, and now we're on to the next question. This also has to do with layoffs. The question that came in asks, as an HR professional, what would you say to a CEO who is adamant about letting a group of people go at this very moment in order to survive the current economic hardship? What would you propose as a win-win situation where employees get treated with respect while meeting the business objectives to cut costs? So, unfortunately, I've been in this situation quite a few times, both in tough times and in good times, based on business realities and downturns in maybe an industry. And so, what I've always suggested to the CEO is what we call the mirror test. So, the mirror test is that you're able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I have done everything I possibly can to ensure that this, last resort that I'm about to do is the only course of action. So, short of getting there, what are some options, for the CEO to consider? Well, there's a few things, right? So, the first part is to be honest with employees and involve them in coming up with a solution. I was in that situation about 25 years ago where a hurricane hit the place where I was living. There was going to be no electricity, no commerce effectively for 3 months. And so the partners in the law firm came in and said, look, we're willing to take zero draw. Here are our costs, operating costs. What would you guys suggest? And basically, we came up with a solution that we all would go on half pay, and in the future, that would get paid back to us over time. Similarly, gravity payments. These are the folks that are famous for bringing everybody up to a $70,000 a year salary. They've decided to do the same thing. So present the employees with the financial realities, and they came in based on their personal circumstance saying, I'll take unpaid leave, I'll take a 20% cut, I'll take a 50% cut, I'll take an 80% cut, until they got to the point where the organization was able to keep everybody on board based on their preference with the proviso that when times got better, they would be repaid. So again, involving employees in the solution is a possibility. Now, again, if this is not possible given the cash crunch and the inability to access cash, which has gotten a bit easier in many countries, what I would strongly suggest is that you give people as much upfront notice as possible. I know typically you want to wait and you're afraid of sabotage or things like that. But again, this is the time when you focus on treating your employees with respect. They've served you, you've trusted them with potentially millions of dollars worth of client business, and it's time to trust them back. Give them a heads up, and if at all possible, stagger the layoffs.